Thanks, Cameron. I really, really appreciate, hearing those examples, and they're really diverse examples, but also the background in terms of where digital trends are headed, and that the examples give, I think, a really good example of different aspects of that. So we have an audience who can ask questions. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see "Ask a Question." If you type it in, we'll get Cameron to comment about it. But I guess what I wanted to comment was, some of these brands that you've talked about, how do they actually start acquiring customers if they don't have any in the first place? Where is the sort of start point in the mind shift of 2020 to be empathic and customer focused and really focus on
Yeah,
the
great
customer
question.
journey?
I think that you're getting a little bit of feedback from you too, Al. So one of the things I'll just say is to answer that, where do you start? And I think that you start really small with this mindset of crawl, walk, run. What does that mean? Okay, well, what that means is if we don't know who these customers are, and or it's like, hey, maybe we should be trialing out some new customers. I'm going to tell you, and go back to some fundamentals here, but Facebook and Instagram are still, from a cost per acquisition standpoint, one of the greatest testing grounds for us still. Like, I mean, today in today's world, 5 years ago, I said that and I preached it, but I was really surprised to be able to say the same thing in 2020. I think Facebook and Instagram still, especially stateside here, and I think you guys see it there as well, but I'll just say it's been a really good place to be, like, just to build out a couple different audiences and then test and build a hypothesis and say, okay, we're going to test 3 different audience segments, see what works, and then, like, if this doesn't work, we'll shut it down, and then we'll kind of test and iterate. So I think ultimately for us, I mean, we build out basically 4 or 5 different audience segments for every one of our brands, and then we go test different products with those different audience segments, and then with that we say, okay, is this working or not? And is it the targeting is the issue, or is it the messaging that's the issue? Is it the creative? Whatever. And so I think that there's a lot of, I think starting small is key, because I think that, even the big brands, I always call it, they always love a spray and pray methodology, where it's like, we have a bunch of dollars and we're just going to go, like, take it and see what sticks, and then learn from that. I think that's the reason why a lot of these, traditional retailers, like in our world, JCPenney's and everybody else is going out of business, Neiman Marcus and everything. They take a very much a spray and pray. They don't take a validated learning approach. And I think that even the largest companies right now should take a flighting mechanism of, like, test and learn, and flight up. So I always talk about flight paths. And, I'm a big fan of starting as small as possible and building a benchmark and baseline and figure out what's working, what's not working, and then double down on what is working and then take away and remove what isn't. So that's really what it comes down to.
Got it. Thank you.